This is a Ken's 5 Spurs special.
Oh, some games you just circle when the schedule comes out. Look forward to all season long. Tonight is one of those games. The Spurs welcome the Cleveland Cavaliers to the AT&T Center. And we get you ready with a Ken's 5 Spurs special. Hello, everyone. I'm Andrew Monaco in the Spurs Center. Thanks so much for joining us. Coming up, Tony has been terrific. So has the Spurs D. Both have earned all A's from none other than head coach Greg Popovich. We'll get an update on the playing status of Tim Duncan when we go Sean talking. And we revisit the soon-to-be Hall of Fame career of David Robinson. And we'll scout tonight's opponent, those Cavaliers. To tonight's game, and Tim will be a game-time decision. Right quad tendinosis has put Tim in a sport coat and alongside Manu Ginobili on the sidelines the last two games. So the big three has been reduced by 2. And then there was one, Tony Parker. Tony was top-notch again. Tony, take 2, taking it to the last two opponents, Dallas and Portland. Now, he's already an all-star, so maybe Tony doesn't realize there's no league higher than the NBA. But to another level is where he's taken his game. He's had 37 and 12 assists in doing away with Dallas. The next night, he plays trail after trail to the basket and putting Portland in its place. Spin moves, floaters, up and unders, all part of the Parker package. Jason Kidd couldn't contain him. Neither could Steve Blake. He was so good that Pop praised him not once but twice, saying that Parker was a super stud and he loved his performance on the floor. Now, Tony combined for 76 points in the last two games and 86ing both the Blazers and the Mavericks. He's averaged better than a point a minute, 38 points a game, 10.5 assists. He's shooting 54% from the field. Tony's numbers have been outstanding, and so has the Spurs defense. The last time the Spurs lost was in New York when they got nicked for 112 points and allowed the Knicks to shoot 48% from the floor. Since then, they floored their last 4 opponents with defense that harkens back to what they played in their championship runs. Notice it's not just one guy, but a team effort. Interior, perimeter, and transition defense. We all know that Bruce Bowen knows defense. And most importantly, that defense is now being noticed by the Spurs head man, Greg Popovich.
You know, if we're going to do anything at the end of the year, we have to continue to improve defensively. And over the last 4 games, we've been the defensive team that we've been in the past. So if we can, on the whole, continue that and get better at it by playoff time, I think we'll be a pretty good team.
Now, these numbers all add up to 4 straight wins. Blazers were held 11 points below their season average. Dallas and Washington scored their fewest points in a game this season. And the Spurs D was solid in the D in capturing a win over the Pistons. Now, Cleveland is the next team to face the revamped Spurs defense. The Cavaliers not only lost their 5-game winning streak last night, falling 93-74 in Houston, but also lost a big banger in Big Ben Wallace. Wallace broke his right leg in the first quarter and will be sidelined 6 to 10 weeks. Now the Cavs hope they don't lose ground in the top-heavy Eastern Conference. Cleveland is percentage points ahead of Boston, 2.5 games ahead of Orlando. That tenuous hold on the top spot could be tested as the Cavs play Game 2 of a 4-game road trip. After tonight's game with the Spurs, Cleveland travels to Atlanta and Miami, 2 teams who could be future playoff opponents. When we return, we go Sean talking with Joe Reinagel and Sean Elliott. There is plenty to talk about when it comes to the Spurs and the NBA. Joe and Sean will touch on those hot topics, and that's when the Spurs special continues. Getting ready at the AT&T Center. Stay with us here on Ken's